Hey, family. This is an Enlightenment remix. I repeat, this is an Enlightenment remix tonight. Mm. Welcome, 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 family. I'm here with the remix. The remix. Welcome, DOD. Let me put the copy of the thing in here. I'll finish playing some of my. All right, family. Let's just get right into it. We can't neglect these facts right here. I'll bring it down here. Damn. We can't neglect these facts right here, family. This world that we're currently enduring is an upside down world for who? For us. It's upside down world for us. And not only us, but every living thing on the planet. The world is upside down. Both literally and spiritually. Okay, that's fine. Both literally and spiritually. Hold on. Let me go get this. Few moments, family. I'm trying to find what I just had. Hmm. I'm back. So therefore, that is very evident already. But there's much confusion in this particular world due to want the need to want more than life. You see, for us, it's life, but to others, it's a little more than life because life we know life has boundaries and laws, but the entity often spoken about wants more than life, offers or gives. So we too often hear people talk about the wickedness. So I'm going to focus on the wickedness. But we always, because we don't realize or recognize that we want to say that the wickedness is always unseen. And that's not true. The spirit world is what makes our nature, what makes what we see. And that is what it is. It just is. And it's not trying to be more than what it is. It just is. But there is something that is often, too often spoken about. And I like to talk about the trickster. I'm going to talk about the trickster. I'm going to try to pull up something about the trickster. What is the trickster? Hey, Sister S. Wiseman. Welcome. I'm going to share my screen on the definition of a trickster, and we're going to get into this wickedness here. Okay. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it's a synonym of trickster, a dishonest person who uses clever means to cheat others out of something of value. A heartless trickster swindled the elderly woman out of her life savings. So we know that it's a cheater, a hoaxer, a defrauder, swindler. He's fake, will pretend with you. Slick. I want to add cunning. An illusionist. A conjurer. A charmer. Enchanter. Very enchanting. Enchantress. All of those things is the trickster. And now let me share with you some images of the trickster. Let me get back to this. Share with you some image results of the trickster. Okay. Here's some of the images of what a trickster may look like. But the well-known one is from of ancient times is Laki. This one. So knowing all of those things, but yet we will allow one that we know good and well is a trickster, and the trickster is one that you do not want in your presence because unfortunately we're in the world of tricksters. So the illusion is real. The illusion is real. So this is another good one. The God of lies and mischief. Laki. That's that entity. But what we as so-called Black people have to realize is that this is important. No, not the Joker. I wouldn't say the Joker is a trickster because they call him the Joker. See, they call him the Joker. So he doesn't necessarily lie. He's a criminal. Don't get me wrong, he's a criminal. He's a bad guy. But he wants something. Not Let me see if I can pull up the difference between the trickster and the Joker. I think they're very different. Yeah, trickster versus Joker. First, both are known enemies in a Justice League members rogues gallery. Joker is an enemy of Batman. Trickster is an enemy of the Flash. Both use joke-like weapons. Trickster uses exploding rubber chickens. Joker uses exploding jack-in-the-boxes. They are similar but different. So I agree. The trickster has many faces. The Joker wears only one face. The trickster one day can be something and then the next day something else. The Joker, he maintains himself the same. And he's outright about who he is. The trickster has to trick us. He has to kind of con us. He has to pretend to be something else all the time. So the Joker maintains himself. His person his he's not necessarily trying to trick you. He's not playing the game of tricks. He's playing the game of, you know, you're going to be able to know that I'm your enemy. Where the trickster is rather tricky in his approach towards his enemy. So we know to stay away from the Joker. We know already the Joker is our enemy, so we're going to stay away from that. But a trickster, we don't quite. It can be like having all kinds of delusions thrown at us, and no matter what he shows us, we still will believe him. We'll fall for it all the time. So okay, it says, how are they different? I'm gonna go back here. The trickster is what we see in our daily life. It's what we go through. We have now their job was to tell us of our righteousness, but instead they wiped our righteousness away from us and wiped out our identity. And they did their job of informing us and equipping us with all information. That's why we get all these different religions. We get all these different religions. We get their record keeping, but we don't get the truth. They leave out the truth in everything. We get lies. We get lies, but still we keep giving them so much credit. We give them so much credit. We give them so much. We don't. We give them a lot of benefit of the doubt. Now, for me, when I recognize that things were inside out, upside down, backwards, I first saw it on, I started studying the map to try to figure it out. And I'm going to share with you all the map that I have tonight. And I wanted the real map. After that, I was like, no, I'm not going to be wanting to show my children this part of how the world looks. I want to show them the real way the world they live in looks like geographically. But even on the real map, original map, it's still not, to me, it's still not. I mean, it shows me enough that I can put the puzzle together. That's why, this journey is very challenging on this journey to the truth. Because I don't just rest on this map I have now. I don't just rest upon that. And I'm about ready to share it with you in a minute. Let me get. Because the wicked is going to be wicked because and that's why I talk about, and I try to bring forth a clear understanding of the portion that I understand, I overstand on my journey. And that portion is that I know that we are tricked, and I Yeah, I'm sorry about that, family. They kicked me out. So is that it's clear that we are tricked, and what entity is tricking us is not. Then again, they're tricking us also on the spiritual aspect of things as well. This is why we have so many religions, because it's all spread out, the documentations. But we have it on our hearts. That's the thing about it. We have the truth within us. We have the truth within us. And no matter what they do or try to hide, you cannot hide what, comes to the light. You can't hide things that come to light. And they would like to say that, but at the same time, they're showing us horror movies. And who in horror movies, you will never see a Black family being terrorized by any spirits. And they know good and well that that can't exist as such. The spirit world we control it all. I want our people to know this and understand that, not to be scary, because we control it all. But we have to know they fear us. The other dimensions of spirit world, they fear us. As the encounters that I've had, my mom has had an encounter with an unseen. It didn't kill her. It didn't kill anyone. It's always been, but the things that have killed people in my life has always been a physical being with such hate towards our existence on this planet that it wants to wipe us from life, from our experience of life, because it wants more than life. It wants eternity. It wants to live on. It's a lot that this entity wants, that life can't provide for it. So they create bigger than life. They create bigger than life things. And this bigger than life things, to be bigger than life, guess what you got to do to be bigger than life? You have to be the trickster. You have to be the trickster. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get it set up where I can share the map, because I'm going to talk about this map. I want to get into it about this map here. So I'm going to bring myself on. I'm going to bring Light Bearer on. So I can get in. Let me get to the screen. Okay. I'm back. So, as Wiseman said something, she said, move and think like the trickster. I would say, no, don't move and don't think like the trickster, because we are the ones been tricked, and we've been tricked out of something very valuable that we don't recognize as valuable, because our minds, we think our minds are on the higher plane, but we're not on the higher plane. Because if we were on the higher plane, We would love our people and ourselves no matter what. No matter what. And that's because you are them, they are you. And we're all a part of the whole. And that's why I say that. And they're right. The guys I talked to the other day, we're acting. We are acting. The entity does not have to do we keep thinking that we want to put like they do with the animals. They put a human mind with the animals. They make like the animals are human characters. No, they are nothing like us. So the entity doesn't have to perform in this. Only we, because they're part of the illusion. They're the tricksters. If they're the tricksters, why would the tricksters have to be enlightened? Why would the tricksters have to be waking up? Why does the trickster have to wake up? Are you woke? Are you woke to the killing of our people? Are you woke that your people are killing our people, that you're killing us? Are you woke that your agenda is for you to live forever? And that's above nature? And because your nature is not, it's the manner of man is spoken of, the manner of man. What is the nature? Is it for allowing life to flourish, or is it to imprison, put life into captivity? Because we're a piece of life and we're living life. Not only are we living a physical life, but we're living in something that is who we are, that is ourselves. So in living in something that we're connected to, that is part of who we are, and there's a connection, and the trickster doesn't have that connection, but the trickster is a trickster because it wants to gain what we have, then you can't be mistaken that you don't want to become like that trickster, because it's going to trick you into becoming like it. Let me show you something. Let me pull up this magazine. Okay, I'm glad they had this picture. Ooh, they got an even better picture. Let's see if I can get something else. Okay. They had an even better picture. Okay, this one. Okay, I'm going to show y'all this picture in a minute here. Okay, National Geographic. Okay. This is what they say in 2030 everybody will look like. And then I'm going to show you what everybody's going to look like after 2030. All right, here we go, family. Let me share my screen again. Because some people say that why not? We're capable of mixing with them. Why not mix with them? Okay, cool. This is what 2030 this is their agenda. This is what they want. And this is what, you know, will be in 2030, but they don't tell you what will be after 2030. This is what you have after 2030. You have this 2030, and then you have back to this with powerful Black genes, but with Caucasian manners. You already have Caucasian manner of man in this, but it'll go back to being degenerate. So that's what you're gonna have. So don't move and think like the trickster. Because the way I see it is you'll come back becoming a trickster. You will become and you will be able to move and think like the trickster. Yeah, you become the trickster. Because once again, So they got us living outside without a guide, basically. We're outside without a guide within. We've been made to be separated from our souls. And it's not supposed to be that way. We're supposed to be connected with ourselves. That way, we won't be connecting to all these outside addictions, like relationships, drugs, alcohol, all those kind of mental issues that we can't control. They become addictions because we don't have our connection with self. And it's all been, and this is what the Bible really is telling us. But because the message is not being allowed to be clearly conveyed to us, we're grasping. So we find ourselves grasping. And they say don't grasp. Because, you know, they wrote in the documents, they wrote for us. It tells us to lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct our path. Who should direct our path? You see, when you put a physical, you playing a game, trickster. You playing a game with the people's minds. You playing the game with our minds, trickster. Because you're telling us to look at this man, physical. We got our own thing. But you ain't gonna tell us that. Because nobody's righteous. Everybody's dirty. Everybody's gonna be dirty. Everybody must get high up in this life. Out of our minds. They say we filthy. Everybody's filthy. That's psychoticness. That's psychotic to me. That's against my nature. Good night, girl. That's against my nature for you to tell me that I'm filthy and you did all the dirt to me and I haven't done anything to you to hinder you, to stop your life, to kill you, to make you think you're nothing, to have you thinking your divinity is the very same person, no, not person, but very same entity, because person, only we can be persons. The very same entity that did all the dirt to my ancestors, I have to look to him for the light. He's supposed to be a symbol of light. They gave him as a representation of some kind of light for me. Some kind of light for me. But they're going to tell me to trust in thy Lord and lean not unto my own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct my path to death. He's going to direct me to, the trickster is going to direct me. Wow. Oh, wow. A trickster is going to direct me, really? I'm going to look to this trickster, the same being that hung my uncles, cousins on a tree, brothers, fathers on a tree, burnt them, took the private parts as a memorabilium and a dildo, killed babies, and ripped them right out of their mama's womb. But I'm supposed to look at this entity, the same representation, the same remembrance, the same trauma as some sort of light. And I'm supposed to follow him on a path. And I see my people dead. Not physically dead, but dead in the mind due to this trickster tricks. The tricks. No, I do not want to follow his path, because his path that he's taking me down is not a life. It's not life. It's tricking me. It's a trick. So I say, I'm good. I do not wish to follow you down the path or acknowledge him. I want him out of my mind. Out of mind, out of sight. To me, out of mind, out of sight, mind over matter, and you're invisible. You don't exist. You can't exist. You can't exist in the high frequency in which I exist in once I pluck you out of my mind. And all your tricks are undone by the master magician. So we're grasping. And they say, don't grasp. Don't grasp. Listen to us. We're going to tell you what you need to know. You don't need to know the other stuff. Don't go there. Once you go dark, you can't come back from it. Why would you want to come back from the darkness? The darkness is the quietness of the mind. It's a blank canvas ready for creativity to happen. A fresh start, a fresh world. A new chance to make things right. That's what the dark is. See, we had the dark ages when the Raven lunatics in Europe ravishing in sickness and in death. Because their minds could not create. They couldn't create. So you had to have creators to go in and create for them, to put the light in the dark. Because the darkness is not bad. The darkness is what you do in the darkness is bad. But the darkness isn't. Darkness is a blank canvas for you to create. It's the quiet time of the mind when nothing's there and you can recreate. So we have to start over. We have to start over. So once this world is out and all the changes are made on the planet and the body begins to recover from the trauma. Then, because what happens when you're in a sleep, after you take the painkiller, that's all you see. You don't see anything. You start afresh, anew, once you awakened from that healing place. And you start over, healed and repaired and new. So with that said, true love, real peace, the higher self within, the soul. Till next time, family. Good night.